After a long-running federal investigation, two former JEA officials are charged with conspiracy and fraud. It all stems from the scuttled attempt to sell the utility and a lucrative bonus plan. Former CEO Aaron Zahn and former CFO Ryan Wannemacher were fired from JEA in December of 2019. Now they've been indicted by a federal grand jury in a scheme that investigators say would have led to tens of millions of dollars in profit and cost JEA much more. News4JAX reporter Jim Pickett has been on this story from the start. He's live from the federal courthouse. So Jim, what happens now?
Well, those two men are scheduled to be here in federal court tomorrow afternoon. And I'll tell you, if they are convicted or even reach a plea deal on this, they could spend up to 25 years in prison. The 30-page indictment lays out what federal prosecutors say was a scheme by the two to pay out millions of dollars from a sale of JEA for themselves and others. Aaron Zahn, the former CEO, first joined JEA's board in 2018, appointed by Mayor Curry, and shortly afterwards became the CEO. Ryan Wannemacher was JEA's chief financial officer during Zahn's tenure. It was in 2019 that Zahn proposed selling the city-owned utility in order to make it more stable and less of a financial drain on the city and customers. But the proposed sale started to unravel when a city auditor found that the bonus plan could have cost far more than what board members were led to believe. According to the indictment, Zahn and Wannemacher worked on formulas for the plan to ensure that they would make millions if the utility was sold. Prosecutors also said the two misrepresented how much the bonus plan would really cost. News4JAX political analyst Rick Mullaney of JU's Public Policy Institute and a former general counsel for the city of Jacksonville looked closely at these charges.
The indictment itself is very compelling. It lays out in detail their knowledge, their conduct, their failure to disclose what they know, their misrepresentations. It is a very compelling document.
You know, this whole JEA issue was very passionate for a lot of people for 2 years prior to this investigation. So coming up all new at 6 o'clock, we're going to hear from the mayor, what he had to say about this, what JEA is saying about this, and why our political analyst, who you just heard from, is saying this is some of the biggest fraud to ever hit Jacksonville. All new at 6. For now, we're live at the federal courthouse. Jim Pickett, Channel 4, the local station.
Jim, have you heard from either of the men who've been indicted?
Well, you know, I reached out to Zahn today and to the others as well. We did finally hear from Zahn this afternoon in a statement from his attorneys. Here's what they're saying at this point. They say Mr. Zahn affirms his innocence, denies any wrongdoing, and is eager to present his case to a jury. And Mr. Zahn is confident that when the jury is presented with all of the evidence, he will be vindicated. As for Wannemacher, I have yet to hear back from him. I've reached out to him and to his attorneys as well.